Hey everybody, this is Perky.
And Tahyira.
Yes, of On the Ground Level podcast. And we're glad to be back. Thank you guys for everybody that is just now finding us. Please subscribe, like, and rate the podcast. We really appreciate that. It helps us with our visibility. Also, go check out our website, forusnation.com, and you can see what we have going on and how you can get involved. But basically, we are doing this for us. And so today we have with us Bryan from Maya's World Press, LLC. Plus, like 50 other things that he was just telling us that he does. But Tahyira is going to read. Right. Tahyira is going to go ahead and read his bio. But again, please like, rate, and subscribe to the podcast and share it if you can to help us to spread out. Thank you.
So Bryan is an author. I'm going to read some of his Kindle profile right now. So his background is one of a great upbringing by working class parents with a combination of curiosity and finding his purpose. Venturing into the business world, he was able to come across different personalities within several industries. He just told us a little bit about that. Climbing up the ladder was consuming, but once he met his wife, shout out to wives, and had an amazing daughter, perspectives changed. Perky perspective. See, you already hit it in the bio. Becoming a husband and father to a wonderful young girl sparked an interest to leave a legacy. I like that, Black legacy. So taking the creative route, he decided to pour unconditional love into his books. Books that his family would be proud of. So I'm reading off the freestyle right now, you guys. Books about his career, insights, philosophies, and his personal life. So you just basically like to write about everything, which I love because I'm a writer too. So that's great. You're like wide ranging because your mind and your thoughts are. I love that. And he writes so he can inspire another person, and basically that's what it is. It's like you're an entrepreneur. It's like I call you like a jack of all trades. I call myself a Jane of all trades. So it's like you've worked with so many different, you have so many different types of clients, you work with different type of brands, you can kind of do it all, right? So that's your intro. Hi, Bryan.
Hey, Tahyira. Appreciate you having me. Ashley, thank you for having me, Perky. Yeah, I mean, pretty much, if you kind of want behind the scenes, one day, let me see. 2019, I was reading my daughter a book before bed. And I was reading it, and I'm like, it might be like good.
What's her name?
Maya.
Oh, it's her? Oh.
Yeah. So I was like, look, I could do this for one. What, three words on a page, some illustrations, boom, cool. I could do that plus two. Look, her being a girl, growing up to be a woman, being Black, mixed race, but still Black. I mean, she got bronze skin, curly hair. There's not enough representation. Clearly, I Am Ambitious, dope book, right? Another one, I Am Enough, dope book. Stella's Spectacular Hair was another dope book, but more representation of us in children's stories, right? That was my inspiration. I was like, I could do this, name it after her, leave a legacy, and she could see herself in these books because her imagination, man, it's amazing. So I never want to do anything but encourage that. I think a lot of times, not to get too far ahead, but kids get their wings clipped. But, oh, stop being so silly. Stop. You're not going to be an astronaut. Oh, you're not going to have your own makeup line. And I'm like, how do you know? Because when you were
academics versus creative and both.
Yeah. But if you think about it, the intelligence of people who are creatives, it is night and day to the technical analytical. For example, Jimi Hendrix, he's left-handed. At the time he was performing, there were very little left-hand guitars. He flipped it over, taught himself how to play left-handed.
Yeah.
And he didn't do anything but hear something and play versus write music. So I'm like, well, that seems a lot more intelligent than somebody reading something and playing it. So I've gotten more into the mind and intelligence. So that was my inspiration for writing. And then I'm like, look, I can write children's books, great, but I also have a wealth of experience. And when you get out of your mind of, I can't do this, know your value, know your worth, and know what you've done, you know you can give value to everybody. So that's kind of how I got started.
Where the parenting part comes in, because, you're only limited to what you limit yourself to. So it's like if your parents are forever preaching to you that you can't do something, your mind is not even going to go and picture that. When you listen to the greatest motivational speakers like Earl Nightingale and and all of them, that's what they talk about. You know, you got to first envision it, because once you can see it, then you can go about planning how you're going to make it happen. And that's what makes it real. And I think it's good that you're making books, because not everybody is a visual learner. Like some people are active, like Jimi Hendrix, he probably was just like, look, I'm gonna just flip it and I'm gonna just keep doing it until I figure it out. Whereas some other people, they like, I need to watch you do it, and then I'm gonna mimic you, and then I'm gonna get it. And then other people, I'm like, I'm gonna read about it, and then I can go ahead and do it. So it's like, just you even creating that other option for some people, like that's a big deal. Because I remember when I was younger, one of the books that sat with me was, and I got it from a Black book fair, was it was like Grandma or Mommy or something, why is everything Black bad? And it talked about Black cats and Black this and Black that. And I just remember it sat with me, because I'm like, that's true. Like, why is everything? And then you do the real history, it's not. But I had to have somebody from my background tell me that, because the whole world's telling you the opposite. You're like, nah. You know. So that's great. That's great that you did that. So like, what motivates you, like outside of your daughter? Is there any other outside things that you going?
Honestly, myself. And then, not to be self-serving, it's how can I be better every single day, better than I was for the most people. That's me personally. I wake up, like I just, hey, thank you. I'm breathing, I'm awake, sun shining, whether it's rainy, boom, I got nice sheets. I got a roof over my head, you know, hey, thank you, life. How can I be of service today and to whom? So that's kind of how I start my day. And knowing that I could always be better, but just I don't know how yet, that motivates me. Like, you don't know how your day is going to unfold. Like being an artist, right? Like, you don't know, like, when you write or make music, do you know exactly how it's going to come out, or you just kind of like, hey, let me see what happens? Like,
you play. That's where, like, creating music just put me in a space of, like, because I also come from dancing, choreography, but, like, because I learned to dance and music, I didn't go to school for any of the creatives. Like I said, I went to school for criminal justice reform, and I have a master's degree, and I can write a piece of paper. So my thoughts are, like, already, like, I know how to get to say what I want. But when it comes to creativity, it's like, you got to just go with the flow. I was literally telling two friends yesterday, I'm like, you know, the thing about me is, like, I can work, like, I'm right now working a tour just to get bread or whatever. It's like, I do that to brand ambassador. I can work in 10-hour shift on my feet. I need like 30 minutes to take a break, and it's like, I gotta do something else. When I create for 10 hours, it's like, I'm down for a week, because that type of, you know what I mean? I remember one time watching the Kardashian show or whatever, and they did like one of these, you know, they were doing weird stuff. You could kind of learn some stuff because they have access to stuff. They did something with Kanye, and it was like they were trying to do a reading of his chakras and whatever. The guy got close to Kanye's head. He was like, whoo, it's like, man. He's like, it's okay. He's creative. And I'm like, don't even come near me. You might just burn. That's how I feel. But that makes me feel good. When I feel like this is not hot, it's like my depression starts going, you know? So that's my personality now. But I agree. Yeah, you said it. It is that. And in writing your book, it's creativity too. It's like, and then you could just write a whole book in one day because it just came to you. You know? That really is how it is.
So, creativity.
Yeah. No, I always,
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm saying I've always respected that about people who thought from a different side of the brain. I've always been weird. Like, my SAT scores split down the middle, 620, 620, math, English. So I've always literally been, I could see something done, I can figure it out for myself, or I can watch somebody do it. I've always been able to do both, but I see different sides of how it is of, okay, well, everyone can't do that. So in me writing and starting to educate, I've also learned how to better observe people and acclimate myself to them. So I've gotten a lot better with that. And that's also another motivation, is learning somebody else, and then of what I know to how they do it so they can learn it. So, yeah.
Yeah, just a quick production note. Your content, your video is lagging just a little bit, so just maybe, I don't know if you could see like your signals maybe moving. I know you're not moving, but sometimes just to be.
Let me.
Into the feedback, Perky.
I don't hear any feedback.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
No, but we could still hear you. Or just a little like it was moving the signal. But I just wanted to let you know. But we're gonna move on.
Okay, thank you.
No, you're good. What challenges have you overcame since the global pandemic?
Man, luckily, nothing family-wise. So shout out to everybody. Blessings and peace to everybody who lost somebody or got sick themselves. Tough time. It's been a tough time for everybody. Challenges for me, let me see. Constantly believing in myself because I chose to venture off 100% into different businesses for myself, networking with other people, really believing in myself that with my background, skill set, knowledge, my spiritual base, that this is for me. I can do it. I will do it. And what I'm doing is my purpose that will add value to others. So really getting over that imposter syndrome, we've all had it. And it's like, no, I can do this. I'm going to do this. So that's kind of one of those things where you have to get over it. And like you said, see, as an artist, you have to just do it. And then you get in the flow. So that, to me, that was the hardest thing.
Yeah, that makes sense because.
Okay, so I want to just put a little pause real quick for people who have never heard of imposter syndrome. Or maybe, because I'm like, people probably have felt it, but maybe they didn't know that there was a term for it. So I'm gonna just read the definition real quick. So imposter syndrome refers to an internal experience of believing that you are not as competent as others perceive you to be. While this definition is usually narrowly applied to intelligence and achievement, it has links to perfectionism and to social context. But yes, like I've definitely felt that. So I know exactly what you're talking about. A lot of the times, for people who are listening, a lot of the times this comes up right before your breakthrough. So just so you know, if you start feeling like, oh my God, everybody thinks that I'm really good as an athlete or as a business owner of this nail shop or something, and I'm really not. I'm just winging it, or I'm going along as I can, whatever you feel like it is, just keep pushing. Like we said earlier, you have to first picture it. So if you start to feel the imposter syndrome, start to focus more on what needs to be done and like set your goals and refocus onto that and try to push out of that way of thinking because it's self-defeating. But yes, thank you for bringing it up.
What I was going to say before you broke it down, I think that was specifically because it relates to the pandemic. I don't feel like everybody had to. There's no, you know what I mean? The reason I'm asking that question to so many people is like, are you aware that you had to change the way you were? Because some people are like, I didn't get sick. I still went to work. So did I. I didn't get sick. I still went to work.
Yeah.
The way that my life is though, bro. Like I used to write in the bars. The bars are closed. All my inspiration gone. I need human beings to be inspired.
Yeah.
Nobody on my block. Like, you know what I mean? People just like, I'm fine. I'm getting my unemployment money. I'm like, you fine? Okay.
The social interaction, like going to a park.
Yeah.
Just in general, I mean, yeah, like for example, like I do like little word tricks, right? You know how sometimes like someone asks you, what are you doing or what do you do? And you might say, I'm just this, or I'm just that. I change that. I'm like, no, this is what I do. I'm not just a sales educator. I'm not just a writer. I'm not just a author. This is what I do. Here's how I'm trying to add value and help people. So little word games like that of not being too confident in yourself versus like, no, this is what I do. If you want to know more, let's talk. So simple things like that, like making sure you know your value, and every day no, I'm here to help. I can do it. I will do it. So having that confidence every day, that was the biggest thing.
Yeah. And yeah, thanks Tahyira for pointing that out, because some people that may have just started during the pandemic, they may not have experienced that before. Yep. But on that note, you actually seem like you may have started to answer this. So you are not just a sales educator. You have started Sales University, and we would like to know what your mission statement is, and not to stack. So you could address that one, and then we have a follow-up question after that.
Okay. So my mission with Sales University is literally to help anybody on their mission, whether they're just starting out, mid-career and looking to pivot and increase, but to help anybody exponentially increase their business acumen in sales. So if you feel like, for me personally, starting out in sales, I actually had a couple good mentors. Not everybody has that. Now they're teaching sales in college. It's not as much academic as a feel for it because you're building relationships with people. So I'm thinking of all the young people now starting out. College might not be for them. They might do music. They might be an author. They might do digital stuff with NFTs, crypto, and they have a product or service to sell. But, well, okay, reading Jeffrey Gitomer books and looking at YouTube videos is not going to get you from A to B, A to Z. So I can be that medium, that who of get you from A to Z. That's what I want to do, because a lot of people don't have that formal tutelage, and I know I can be that. So my mission is really to add value to your business. Whichever way you're trying to do it, I can do it and I will do it. So that's why I put up Sales University on Square and Gumroad, because whether you want to just buy courses without my audio, I'm putting my audio in it. I put my books up there just for you to have a resource, and that you don't have to spend $8 million to buy all the best books like Think and Grow Rich, when that's more of a deeper level book, not necessarily on sales, but more on psychology. I know I can help. I got a great background, so that's my mission. Help others really accelerate their business and their prosperity and wealth. So that's what it is.
And that's I'm about to ask you the second thing, but that's good, because like you said, Think and Grow Rich is more mental. And I think it would definitely be helpful for people to have, if I don't know, maybe you already have this, for people to have like a step-by-step, because you know, like the stages of change where there's the pre-contemplation, the contemplation, the action, and all those things. Like for some people that are in the pre-contemplation or even contemplation stage, Think and Grow Rich might be a good book for them because it can help them get mentally ready. But then once you're ready for that action, then it's like I'm stuck. Like you said, like some people, they're ready to really go out there, they're ready to make a pivot, and they're like, I don't have a mentor, I don't know where to go. And that's where it seems like Sales University can come in. Can you make a plug for the website for people to find it and the links?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, if you are on Instagram, Maya's World Press LLC, there is a Linktree link that actually goes straight to it. If not, it is Gumroad, G-U-M, road, like a street, gumroad.salesu, or I'm also on Square Up. My bad.
Wait, I think your audio cut out a little.
Yeah, say the Square.
Okay, cool. squareup.com/salesu as well. So actually, no, squareup.com/salesuniv. And go there. It's two different platforms. One is on Square, it's subscription based, and then on Gumroad, it's by the product. I put two different ways for the way people want to digest it. And yeah, I'm literally adding stuff every month. So no matter what you get now, every month I'm adding stuff. So cool. It'll always be organic. It'll always be up to date. And anything else wants to be added, just always leave me feedback and I'll do it. So.
Okay. And we know one part of being in the sales world is to have your goals and your 1 year plan or 5 year plan or whatever, right? So where do you see Sales University in about, say, 3 years?
Awesome. 3 years. 3 years, what I have written down is
24.
Perfect. 2024. So 3 years to have 1,000 subscriptions, and I helped at least 300 entrepreneurs increase their sales and expand their business by 30 to 40%.
Well, I mean, you already gonna have me as a client because I already told you I'm about to.
Well,
I mean, I can't educate it unless I do it myself, So
it's like I need to be. When people ask me that question, I need to answer like numbers, like.
And also in there, like retire my mom. I got because she's still working. Retire my mom. Pay off her house, and there was something in there about international property, but depending on how the international community is, that might have to wait a little bit, but
Okay. Like those. Congrats to.
I mean, if y'all both got plugs in the islands, I mean, let me know. We could do something. You know?
She's West Indian and I'm in Jamaica. So
DR, Haiti, Trinidad, Tobago mostly, but Trinidad, Tobago. There was another island that we were. Oh, like Barbados, but Barbados we don't know because they're a little like still like underneath the crown kind of movements.
Okay.
We gotta go to places. Jamaica, for example, Jamaica. We gotta go to places that they're trying. They don't. We need to be their reason they're coming to the United States. Like that's the kind of thing we're trying to do. You know, set up kind of like Black owned because a lot of people do it already, but none of them look like us. So it's like just expand ourselves. Like how you said, my family had like a jet ski business down in Tobago, so I already kind of started, you know, travel, tourism, stuff like that. So we'll see. I definitely want to bring like a food business internationally. So you let me know where you want to set it up. I'll set up my food right next door.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, how did that with COVID? Like, how did that affect it? Are they still operating?
No, can't. Everything was shut down. Yeah, those types of like certain industries are just like not even because it's tourism. Like those things are still until people get vaccines. You know what I mean? Trinidad and Tobago are on lockdown right now. They closed their borders. So it's like a serious situation. So, I mean, that's not for right now just because of the global aspect of things, not so much of financial aspect.
That's what I was saying because it's like, because I know with Puerto Rico, they have pretty good, what was it? Like your initial investment to like buy plots of land or something. I think your initial investment is, I want to say something like 10 or 20,000. And then after that, after you make the sale, it's like a 4% business tax after that, like something really small, but it's specifically for their real estate. So just stuff like that.
Okay, cool. Well, that leads us a beautiful segue into the next question. What's the last place you traveled to, and what did you learn from that experience?
Let me see. Internationally, it would be Ocho Rios, Jamaica.
Oh, did you go to Blue Hole? What you do? Tell me.
Yeah. So, all right. Blue Hole. Did Kanoko Falls instead of Duns River Falls.
Okay.
We did the is it called Botanical Gardens? That's attached to Kanoko Falls. Like,
are you talking about
like,
Hope Botanical Gardens? Or is it?
Yeah, like, but it's right there. It's like right next to it, kind of in the same area.
I don't think I've been.
Okay, well, it's like it. Let me see. We did that. We did we didn't do the rum plantation. I'm kind of weird about that. Like when you go to New Orleans, like I'm not trying to visit plantation.
Like, you hear the plantation where you like, ooh.
I'm good.
My ancestors don't like this.
Caribbean, they dumped them Africans there because that's what they were.
Well, because my thing is, look, if I go to a plantation, I might start, doing spells and bring ancestors back. So you don't want me in a plantation. So shoot.
Like I'm a summon
I'm saying. Might be like Pirates of the Caribbean. You roll over like 300 spirits after you're done.
And that's what Jamaica is. I don't know if people know that, but Jamaica, was basically a pirates island for like the longest. That's why their flag looks like that.
Well, they took us up to the pirate outlook. Like there was a cutout in the trees that's still there with stones, and you can see straight across into the ocean, but you can't see it.
There's people living all up in the mountains, even if you can't see the house. There's somebody in there.
Yep.
Well,
no, but I mean,
I wish I would have known you out here.
My bad. It was dope because we also saw the bauxite sites. Well, that's used to make iron.
Time check. Just saying that.
Cool. But yeah, me, Ocho Rios, Jamaica, feeling like connected back to, the family ancestry and also how rich the resources are there. If the people could just, change the mindset and know, like, look, you don't need anybody outside of you to be one of the most wealthiest nations on the planet. So every indigenous population has something to where they don't need outside help. Actually, domestically, as far as me visiting Chicago, dope city, also started by a Haitian. If people don't know that, look it up. I forget his name, but Chicago was started by a Haitian dude. Yep. Mm-hmm. So those two places, just because the history, the culture, and just really seeing a different perspective from East Coast. Like I always try to like see what the energy of the people is or wherever I go.
Right. This is something I'm just throwing out there quickly. I'm trying to plan what I'm telling you too. I have an idea to try to do like a bus ride from maybe like the New York City area. I don't know who you guys are. I know some of you guys are on East Coast, West Coast, but like the New York City
Jersey.
area or the East I-95 is what I call it, to the African American Museum like in DC. It like supposed to take us back to the slavery times. Like Obama talked about it when he was like on his way out or whatever. Also, they're building a big thing in Chicago, just where you were. So once that's open, I want like the brand to just be more like field trip to the past in the Black way. You know what I mean? And with the education aspect, me and Perky got to reteach ourselves, like go on trips that our teachers never took us, because I went to the Holocaust Museum like 10 times. But never, you know, so if that's something that you would be interested in, I would definitely try to add your brand in and see what we could do, you know?
Cool.
To throw that out into the world. You guys listening in, you too, send us an email for us. Well, you got our email, we'll tell you.
And anyone who's listening, like, subscribe, don't forget to donate, because if you're going on nice trips, you got to donate, or you getting ham and cheese sandwiches with juice boxes. I'm just
That part. Okay, so to wrap it up, because this is Mental Health Awareness Month, but not even just that, you know, June 15th, the world is supposed to open back up, and that's the whole world globally. And that can mean a lot for different people, especially mentally. You know, people have been inside. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if the world's going to go crazy.
Scared, honestly. I'm a little scared.
Yeah, but as far as just expressions and, you know, like how you have to self-check yourself for your impending imposter syndrome and all those things, right? How do you feel like mentally you're going to handle this transition? And like, do you have any tips for other men on what they can do to fight stigmas about maybe mental health expression or anything like that? Just give us some.
I think, I appreciate that. I think when men, especially within Black men in the community, we've been taught so long, you know, stuff things down. But I'm like, look, at the end of the day, tell everybody how you're feeling. For one, it feels good to get it out. One. Two, you'd be surprised by how many more people, especially men, feel exactly the same way you do. So why not have 2, 3, 4, 5 men? Y'all can talk it out. Doesn't make you softer. You got crying a lot of the times, right? Let's say you're crying. It's just releasing tension. That's all it is. People cry when they're happy. People cry when they're sad. People cry when they're frustrated. People cry.
Thing in my life is like, I'm happy, I'm crying, I'm overwhelmed, I'm crying, I'm in a fight.
But your energy is tip top. So you got to release it somehow, right? A lot of times it's cathartic. You might just cry and then be cool with it because your mind is like, all right, it's gone. Right now, so
that's me. I think you said that from a man's point of view, because sometimes men see women crying. It's like, nothing's wrong with me, bro. You should cry too. Like.
No, my parents were always cool.
It's gonna come out in illness, or it'll manifest in some other way.
Neuropeptides.
It can even be generational. Like we think we know everything that goes on with our bodies in this universe, and we really do not have a good understanding just yet. Like this stuff is really generational. That's why a lot of people are obese and have high blood pressure and diabetes and stuff, because they just be holding on to all this stress and it's passing it on. So yes, I agree. Let that thing go.
Epigenetics, right? So it actually gets passed down through the male line of the trauma. It can go 10 to 15 families unless somebody decides to deal with it, and then it goes the other way. So it actually is physically in your body too. It's it's either in the RNA or mRNA, but it's actually on the male side. So men, deal with your stuff, and if you need a hug, look.
If you need a hug, right? And I'm sorry, I'm making faces because I'm just thinking of all those men that spread their seed. A month, and for you to say 10 to 15 families, I'm like, okay, is that generational, or is like 10? Okay,
generations.
10, 15 babies, is it out? Like,
no, generations, 10 to 15 generations. So your 15th grandchild. So that's how far it can go if somebody doesn't deal with it. Plus, look, literally, a lot of us live in urban environments. Take your shoes off, take your socks off, go walk outside and stand in some dirt. I'm telling you. That release the positive ions, get some negative ions.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, we could, plus shout out to Black Wall Street. It's 100 years this weekend, right? Right?
Oh, and that's probably why Greenwood has been doing so much recently. The bank that's starting based off of the community. Yes. Yeah, shout outs to that. Juneteenth is coming up, June 19th. So okay, we're starting to wrap up. So can you, if you have anything upcoming, can you just do a quick plug? Let's say 30 seconds.
Sure.
Go.
Sure. right now, all I'm doing is really just building Sales University, connecting with great people like y'all. Like, I appreciate it. For us Nation, everybody's support. Ladies have been trying to connect me for a while. It's been my fault. I apologize. But as you see, look, everybody just show love. Like, nothing I have going on right now, but I will post it. What I do want to ask is, or just offer, anytime y'all have a town hall or something, or whatever it is, mental health, connections, networking, include me. I'll help any way you want me to. But yeah, we should definitely have something for Juneteenth. We should definitely have something for more mental health, Black Wall Street, more mental health with men, like whatever it is, I'm down. So just let me know.
Like, sorry to cut you off. I wanted to bring more families up, kind of like we did one. I don't know if you saw our interview for the Valentine's Day one, kind of. But like that did really, really well because of the way that we kind of like, you know what I mean? It was like let's bring in, I don't want to bring like you arguments, but just you think differently, because I feel like those conversations we all learn, even sometimes the questions are harder for me. I feel challenged to be the host when it's like that. So just things along, like, let's get a little deeper. We're not the Opens and Tylers. Like, we got to talk about other things that they're not talking, you know what I mean? Like that. Some people are scared to talk on camera, that too. So I'm happy that you're saying that.
Yeah.
I'll definitely be calling you. Ryan, we got another one.
No, like anything, look, with mental health, look, even with Black entrepreneurship, like, financial literacy is still a big thing. Health is still a big thing. I think I would listen to you if you did a Zoom on just being a creative, like how to pull it out of you. Look, I'd listen, like, even if you want to do just something on that, like, where is your creativity? Like, you could be doing construction, but be an amazing artist, but not let it out because you're working in construction. Like, if you do something like that, I think that'd be dope.
That'd be dope.
Okay.
There you go.
And sorry, we have one last minute. So for Juneteenth, I personally am going to be supporting my cousin's event, Comedychella. It's the first festival to infuse comedy and cannabis that is going to be in Adelanto, California, June 19th. So if there's any vendors or anybody that wants to connect and have some sort of expression for that date, you can always reach out to me. Perky Perspectives pod@gmail.com. Yeah, comedians, cannabis, everything. But yeah, again, thank you everybody for listening. Please subscribe, like, and rate our podcast On the Ground Level. Go check out our website, forestnation.com. And if you would like to be a guest, please reach out to us on thegroundlevel@gmail.com. Thank you.